Welcome to Flaunt podcast episode 3, where we're going to be talking about the iPad. iPads have been flying off the shelves. Everywhere that they've been available for sale, they've sold out within a matter of hours. And so I thought I'd do a roundup of first impressions from across the web. So what actually is the iPad any good for? People have had time to pull off the shrink wrap and the styrofoam and really get to grips with it, and the reports coming back are actually pretty interesting. Originally, it seemed that Apple was really toting the fact that it had the big screen, the multi-touch, all of the things that sounded really quite impressive, but in reality don't seem to really have improved much on the iPod and iPhone functionality. What they have created though, it seems to be the perfect device for surfing the web on. And that sounds like a really minor thing, but when you think about it, almost everyone uses almost every device in their possession just for surfing the web. You couldn't get a good smartphone these days without a web browser. No computer would stop you doing it. It's such an integral thing that we kind of take for granted. And the iPad's larger form factor has actually really opened up something. It was originally thought that the iPad would be treading too much on the iPhone's toes, and perhaps why they didn't include a phone with it, or a camera for that matter. But now that it's come to pass, people are actually reporting they're using it instead of a laptop, which is quite strange when you come to think of it, because the device is basically just a big iPhone. Because it's unencumbered by cables, it's very light, and it's actually quite small. You can just carry it around easily, one-handedly, while still casually reading it. I think that's probably what's really saved this device. There's been a big push for things like Kindles and other ebook readers that have that sort of simple one-handed construction that really do let you experience the web in a different way. And although it sounds really sort of horribly marketing jargony to say that sort of thing, it does bring you the internet in a different way, in the sense that you don't even really feel like you're using a device. Because you don't have the peripherals, the keyboard and the mouse and the speakers and the rest of the setup. You've just got the one pane of glass between you and the internet. And that's what makes it really quite special. The whole world has, of course, gone tablet raving bonkers. Ever since the iPad started selling large numbers of units, just about everyone has wanted to get on the bandwagon. However, it seems that other companies who were hoping that the iPad's popularity would boost their own tablet sales haven't really seen an upsurge, and to be honest, I can see why. Although normal tablet PCs have been around for a long time, no one really has pushed them in the same way that Apple has. The idea being that, you do have that intimate thing. A normal tablet PC will, be essentially a laptop with a folding screen, which still means it's heavy and that it has, trailing wires, and they've never really implemented the touchscreen display especially well, especially, the quite intuitive nature of the iPhone OS, such as, pinch to zoom and the scrolling features. It's actually a nice way to do it, and no one else has really nailed that quite as effectively. I think it does need a very specific operating system to do it. So it certainly seems that tablets are going to be a major battleground over the next few years, and perhaps we'll see the decline of netbooks and other ultra-portable laptops entirely into a tablet marketplace. I certainly think that we've pushed the envelope as far as they can go with ultra-portable laptops. Some of them have battery lives upwards of 10 hours, and you really couldn't make them any smaller. Some of them are smaller than A5 pieces of paper, which is astonishing for what they do. But you honestly couldn't make them smaller without taking the keyboard off, and that's where you get in with the tablet form factor. So what are the downsides to owning an iPad? Well, to be honest, not a lot. They're expensive for one, and especially if you have the 3G version rather than just the Wi-Fi one, and you'll need a data contract for it as well. However, they really are quite good devices for what they're intended to do, and I think that that's what any reviewer needs to remember about them. They aren't really designed to be productivity devices. They're more a coffee table book than a journal. They're there to be read from, to be perhaps watched on, but certainly not to be used the same way as you would a regular working laptop. For me, I don't know if the touchscreen keyboard has been improved enough to allow you to type on it extensively. And to be honest, I don't think that a touchscreen keyboard will ever be able to be as comfortable, as fast, as whatever, as a real physical keyboard. However, I don't think anyone will really be bothered about that. Almost everyone, and certainly everyone who actually owns an iPad, already has a PC, and that will be what they're doing their work on, while the iPad will simply be the addition to the morning roundup instead of a newspaper. So that's my thoughts on the iPad a few weeks after release. I hope it's been vaguely interesting. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.